So I watched the first two episodes of Lord of the Mysteries a couple of days ago that dropped on Crunchyroll, and let's just say I have a lot to say about them. I'll just start with the fact that these episodes were beyond hyped, and this adaptation has been advertised so hard for almost a year or even more. And you've got people who've been screaming for ages that it's one of the best web novels out there, hyping it up like it's gonna be the next anime of the year. And honestly, I do completely agree with it. It's definitely one of my most favorite web novels, if not the favorite of all time. But this also sets my expectations really high. And it's clear the studio tried to deliver something that felt like big, cinematic, and even the episode lengths are almost 35 minutes each, rather than the usual 24 for Japanese animation. On the positive side, yeah, it visually delivers. I'm not even gonna pretend otherwise. The animation is gorgeous, and they also nailed the dark, gritty, like the almost Victorian vibe. The backgrounds are also detailed, and the character designs look really good. This is the kind of show where you can just pause and just admire the art. And the music is also really good too, like really atmospheric. If you're judging purely on art and sound, it's definitely top tier. But the real problem for me that I felt was the pacing, which I mentioned in my reaction videos. It's kind of all over the place. Like the first two episodes are just dumping lore on you non-stop. Like the secret organizations, power systems, the weird occult terms, all these titles, roles, and factions, and it's just rapid fire information. If you're even if you're glued to the screen, it's really hard to keep up. Like a couple of my friends who watched the first two episodes with no knowledge of this were very overwhelmed and really confused. As a guy who read the novel before, I can say even I felt overwhelmed at times when just reading the novel. But that wasn't a huge problem because when you're reading a book, you can just sit with the info, read, think it through, and go back to formulate your own opinions. But in the anime format, though, you can't exactly do that. You're practically just getting fire hosed to the exposition. I can definitely tell they tried to cram as much as possible to get the certain story beats quickly. It's weird because it feels both fast and somehow slow at the same time. Like they're rushing the critical world building, but the scenes themselves are heavy on dialogue and don't really give much substance. And honestly, I think a lot of the new viewers are gonna bounce. I can totally see someone just watching the first episode and going, "Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. Why should I keep watching?" Like, this is that sort of series that really risks alienating its new audience. And I get it. That's the gamble with adapting something as dense as this, right? Of course, I can't exactly guarantee this either because shows like Steins Gate ended up being quite popular even though they were complex. Also, another glaring issue that's been bugging me, and even a lot of people as well, is the Crunchyroll subtitles. They're just not good. They ruined the key moments of Klein doing the luck enhancement ritual, and it ended up leaving the word celestial worthy four times instead of the actual phrases, which are quite important to the story. There's also many sloppy translation choices, like the spectator path being called audience, which really had me confused when I was watching. That might sound really minor, but it really matters in a story like this. The whole appeal of the Lord of the Mysteries is the little layered mysteries and terminologies that go with them. If your translation is lazy or inconsistent, it just makes the confusion worse. And honestly, this isn't even a new problem for Crunchyroll. They're kind of infamous for doing stuff like this. And an hour before I started recording, I heard about the drama about Crunchyroll apparently using ChatGPT for subtitles for this show called Necronomic and the Cosmic Horror. I'm not gonna lie, reading that really pissed me off. Like they were so lazy that they couldn't even get rid of a part of the subtitles that says ChatGPT. This issue definitely guarantees that AI was used when making the subs for LOTM, which is why everything seemed really whack. I even went to VTV, the Chinese video streaming site, to look at their subtitles as well, because they do their translations like in a separate spot, like separately. So, and I found out like their subtitles were way better than the ones we got in Crunchyroll. Like this story, like in this show, which is like super complex, and where every detail has to be like has some kind of significance in the overall story. Like I think it deserves like a lot of professional human translation that understands nuance, not some half-baked like machine translation with zero context. It's really a slap in the face to both the source material and the fans. And honestly, this sort of sloppy AI usage for any show is just like insulting to the viewers and the people who pay for the subscriptions. Also, another thing I wanted to mention was the cut content. Yeah, there's like there's some stuff that are missing in the episodes that's in the novel, or even like the episodes released in China. Like there was an after credit scene in the anime which showed the previous life of Zo Minguri, which it was Klein in his previous life, which would have really like helped viewers understand him way better as a character, and probably would have given way more context for the story as well. So I was pretty disappointed that we didn't get to see those scenes at all. There are also like many other minor scenes and dialogues that were in the novel, which were missing in the anime. Of course, it's not always gonna be adapted, because I'm not like, you can't exactly adapt everything in the novel into an anime, because novel is really dense and long. You can only put so much in the anime. I understand that, but so that's why I won't complain too much about it, because it makes sense. And so far, I don't feel like it's so bad that everything has been ruined for me, right? But despite all these like issues and stuff that I'm talking about, I did enjoy the first 2 episodes. Like the vibe was exactly what I wanted, and it was fun to see the characters interacting with each other. While watching Dongwa, it really felt like I was watching this like giant puzzle box of a story, which I really liked. And the one thing I wanted to appreciate was the fact that they didn't try to dumb it down or oversimplify it. Like, of course, it can be a double-edged sword, because it could be like the thing that might kill it for a lot of viewers. Most people want something that's more like digestible. At least in the first couple episodes, like they want like a hook, like in a book, something that can get them invested without feeling like they need to take notes. Like for example, look at the recent anime Solo Leveling. It's definitely not the most complex story ever. Like I would never compare it to LOTM, but it does do well with the fact that it gives you that instant payoff with the flashy animation and cool fights. And this is what grabs the average anime viewer. A lot of the average viewers watch like a lot of these shonen or like mainstream shows that are just like instant. They give you the instant payoff, and you don't have to think too much about it. And I feel like if they slowed down the pacing of the first episode, it would have been even better. Like right now, it's like a 9 out of 10 for me, but it would have been like a 10 out of 10 if they did that. But of course, it's a subjective view. A lot of people might think it's good as well, so it's just my opinion, I guess. And I guess honestly, also I also felt like it was very gatekeepy without them meaning to. Like, if you're not willing to put in the like mental effort, or you don't have like the background knowledge, you're just gonna be lost most of the time. And I also wanted to mention the fact that this whole like Dongwa, which is the anime thing that people are like arguing about, that I saw online. This adaptation is like a great example of how Chinese anime has come so far. And the quality is like right up there with like some of the best like Japanese animation like productions, right? And it's not good to judge something without even like trying it out. Like Lord of the Mysteries is a literal proof of that. Like the visuals, the art direction, and the music is just awesome. It's just the adaptation side, like the storytelling and pacing, is where they need to improve a little bit more. which is like a common issue for most Chinese productions though, because it's not exactly like enough to look good if your audience can't exactly follow the plot. So in the end, to finish this video off, yes, I'm definitely watching the episode 3 that's gonna come out. I've heard that from the Chinese side, uh, that the pacing might slow down in episode 3 and it gets better. I mean, I really hope that's true because the potential here is insane, and this could be an amazing series if they can just balance the storytelling with the visuals and let people breathe a bit. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Super impressive art and animation, very interesting character interactions, which appeals to a fan like me, but also an absolute wall of information that's gonna be brutal for the newcomers. So overall, I liked it, and I also get why people might drop it. I'm curious as to what everyone else thought about this. So comment down below, and also leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out a lot. I mean, that's pretty much it. See ya.